AITA for telling my wife to go to a mental asylum after she asked my sister to dress modestly around me? Last week, my wife, my sister, and I embarked on a much-needed week-long vacation. I had recently received a hefty bonus at work and thought, what better way to spend it than on a relaxing getaway with two of the people closest to me? My sister had been going through an extremely tough time, especially after finding out her fiancé had been cheating on her. It completely crushed her, and she had been struggling to cope. I figured a change of scenery might help her clear her head. So, I invited her along, thinking it would be a good distraction and a chance for us to have some fun. My sister was really excited about the trip, and I was happy to help her take her mind off things. Now, for the most part, the vacation was going really well. We had fun, relaxed by the pool, went sightseeing, and genuinely enjoyed ourselves. However, there was one particular incident that led to a bit of a blow-up between my wife and me. Here's the background. When I booked the vacation, I made sure to reserve 2 separate hotel rooms, one for my wife and me, and another for my sister. I wanted to give everyone their space, but since we were all hanging out together so often, I gave my sister the spare key to our room, so she could come over whenever she wanted without having to wait for us to let her in. It just seemed more convenient that way. Each morning, my sister would come over to our room to chat and hang out while we figured out the day's plans. She'd usually show up in an oversized t-shirt, something she'd normally wear around the house. Nothing too revealing or inappropriate, just her usual comfortable clothes. We'd sit and talk, grab breakfast, and then head out for the day. But a few days into the trip, my sister came to me looking really down. She told me that my wife had privately asked her to dress more modestly whenever she was around me, and it made her feel uncomfortable. My sister was visibly upset and asked if she was somehow intruding on our vacation. She even hinted that maybe she shouldn't have come along in the first place. I was honestly shocked. I could tell she felt really awkward about the whole thing. I tried to reassure her that she wasn't doing anything wrong and that she wasn't an intrusion at all. I told her I'd speak to my wife and sort things out because, frankly, this was a situation I hadn't anticipated. Later that day, I brought it up with my wife, and things escalated into a mini argument. My wife admitted that she had never been particularly close to her own brother, and in fact, their relationship was rocky at best. Because of that, she couldn't really grasp how my sister and I could be so casual around each other, especially when it came to how we dressed. I tried to explain that growing up, we were always comfortable around each other, even in casual clothes. My sister often wore oversized shirts, and I usually lounged around the house in just shorts. It wasn't a big deal for us. It was just how we'd always been. But my wife kept pressing, saying she found it inappropriate that my sister wasn't at least wearing shorts when she came into our room. At that point, I got pretty frustrated. I told her that she was blowing things way out of proportion and that her concerns were completely unfounded. Then, in the heat of the moment, I snapped and told her that she should consider checking herself into a mental institution because she was acting crazy and ruining what was supposed to be a fun, relaxing vacation. I admit it was harsh, and I probably could have chosen my words better, but it seemed like the only way to get her to stop. After that, the argument ended, but my wife was clearly upset. She seemed a little sad for the rest of that day, but to her credit, she got over it quickly and we moved on. The rest of the vacation went by pretty smoothly after that, and we didn't really bring it up again. However, I still can't shake the feeling that I might have been out of line. Even though I was just trying to defend my sister. Was I wrong for saying what I said? Am I the a-hole for how I handled the situation?